All right, here's the notes for section 3.2, and this is a super important concept. This is the concept of slope, which you will again see for from now all the way through high school math. This is something you'll see lots in algebra and second year algebra, calculus, everything when you talk about slope. It's a really, really, really important concept. And what the slope does is it measures the steepness of a line. So here's one line, right? Let me say I drew in another line, and we want to say which line's steeper. Well, the blue one sure looks steeper, but how do we quantify that? How do we put numbers on that? How do we make that something that we can evaluate or look at or use to compare to another line slope? Well, we're going to do that by defining the slope as the rise over the run, okay, which is the vertical change over the horizontal change from one point on the line to the next. Okay, so I always talk about the R words for slope. They are rise over run. That's just something you're going to have to remember because, like I said, you're going to see this over and over and over again for many, many years as you keep taking math. Slope equals rise over run, which is the vertical change over the horizontal change. So just for an example here, let's say we had a line, and to go from this point to that point, we go up one space and over 3. That means our slope is 1 over 3, or 1/3. So it's the rise, the vertical change over the horizontal change. So rise over run. Okay? Now, let's look at how we find the slope. And what I'm going to have you do is use some graph paper to do this. Some of the problems in the book are already plotted on a graph, and you just have to count the rise and the run. Otherwise, we are going to use graph paper. We're going to plot the points on the graph. We're going to make a slope triangle. A slope triangle has to be a right triangle. That means it's got a 90-degree angle in the corner. So we start at one point down here. We go straight up until we're even with the next point, and then we go straight over to make our triangle. You could also go over and up. You would get the same answer. It doesn't matter. But for these, I'm going to go up and over. So straight up. We don't want to go up at an angle and over or anything weird like that. It has to have a 90-degree, a perfect corner in it here, straight up and straight over from one point to the next. And they'll give you 2 points in the problem, so you're just going to plot them. You'll start at 1, draw all the way up until you're even, right on the line with the other point, and then you're going to go straight over. So it's got this nice corner, this 90-degree angle, this corner in it. Once you make the slope triangle, you count the spaces on it to find the rise or the run. You don't want to count the little marks on the graph. You count the spaces. So here, look, we got 1, 2, 3 spaces. So that's the rise. Okay, that's the vertical change. So rise. And the run is 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So it's 3 over 4. Rise 3 over run 4. Rise over run. Okay, so again, plot the points. Make your triangle, count the spaces to find the rise and the run, and you're all done. All right, well, let's look at a couple. Okay, so I gave you some of this graph paper. Sorry, I can see through that. Let me just close this here real quick. Now, I gave you some graph paper like this to print. Let me also see if I can zoom in a tiny bit there and focus. Pardon me here for just a second. That's a little bit better. So you can print these and you can use them. There's a handful of problems that you'll need to graph. And so please use graph paper. If you have your own graph paper, that's fine. But please use the lines on the graph paper. Don't draw your own lines in. So you just go ahead and print this and use it, and it'll be just fine. Okay, so 2 points. So 1, 3. So remember, we go X and then Y. So we go to the side and then we go up or down. So I go to +1, +3. So that's over 1 to the right and 3 up right here. Over 1, up 3. Okay, there's 1 point. Okay, the next point is 4, 5. So I go over 4, up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. Okay, then what we're going to do, and I'm sorry that's a little hard to see. Try one more time to make it a little better. So you can see the lines. Didn't print very dark. But if you use this paper, you can see it fine. I can see it well, it just doesn't quite show up on the camera. Okay, so over 1, up 3, over 4, up 5. Then what we want to do, and I'm going to set a bad example. I meant to get a ruler, but I don't have one, so I'm going to do my best to draw a straight line connecting those points, something like that. Okay, so there's the line. We're going to connect them. Now we're going to make our triangle. So like I said, to make the triangle, it has to be a right triangle. It has to be straight up and straight over. So start here, the point on the left. We're going to go straight up. And then see, right now I'm on the line with this point, and then I'm going to go straight over. Okay, eventually you'll learn a formula to do this, but for now we're going to do it on the graph. I think it's a good first introduction to slope is to graph the points or to look at a graph and count. Okay, so now I got to figure out how far up did I go. What's my rise? So count the spaces. 1, 2. So my rise is 2. What's my run? 1, 2, 3 spaces. So it's up 2 over 3. That means the slope is 2/3. Rise 2, run 3, 2/3. Okay? So you'll have to do, again, a few of these on your own by plotting them and graphing them. Other ones are going to be already graphed. You don't draw in the book, but you can just count. You can slide your finger up and count, and then slide over and count while you make your triangle to figure out the slope. Okay, here's one more. And let's see here. Sorry again, it's a little hard to see. So -2, 1, and 3, 8. So we're going to plot those points and then connect them with a line. So -2, 1. So now I'm going to go to the left 2 and then up 1. -2, 1 is right there. Okay, now I go 3, 8. 1, 2, 3 over and 8 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right there. Okay. Again, I should have used a ruler, but I don't have one handy, so I'm going to just do my best and connect them. Okay, so might be a little crooked, but we'll get the idea. Alright, that's not so bad. Haven't had too much coffee today. Can draw a straight line, sort of. Alright, so now again we're going to make our triangle. So start at the left point and we'll go over to the right point, so we go up. So start here, we're going to go up, 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 up a little more. Okay, so I'm even, I'm on the 8 here, I'm even with this point, and then I go over. Okay, so now I count the spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces up, there's the rise, and then I count over this way, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces over, so 7 and 5, and I got my rise and my run, so that means your slope is just those two numbers with the 7 on top. The rise over the run, 7/5. Eventually you'll learn about things like negative slopes and undefined slopes and zero slopes, but for now they're all going to be positive numbers, and you're just going to plot the points if they're not already graphed for you and count the rise and the run, and that's your answer. Okay, I hope that is a good introduction. I hope that makes sense. And please, please, please let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. Thank you.